Britain, a nation often lauded for its stability, has been shaken to its core in recent weeks. A wave of riots has swept across towns and cities, leaving a trail of destruction and despair. From London to Manchester, the unrest has exposed deep-seated tensions and ignited a national debate. These riots are a symptom of a deeper malaise, a cry for help from those who feel unheard. As the dust settles, it is time for reflection and action. We must confront the issues that fueled this unrest and work together to build a more just society. Ignoring the root causes will only pave the way for further division.
The recent riots, shocking as they may seem, are not without precedent. British history is punctuated by periods of social unrest, often sparked by economic hardship or racial tensions. From the Peasants' Revolt to the poll tax riots, the British people have a long history of making their voices heard. The Brixton riots of 1981, sparked by racial tensions and police brutality, set a grim precedent. These riots exposed the deep-seated anger felt by marginalized communities. The lessons of the past are clear: social and economic inequalities, if left unaddressed, can erupt in destructive ways.
The immediate trigger for the riots can be traced back to a specific event. The incident, captured on CCTV and widely circulated on social media, ignited a firestorm of anger. It served as a flashpoint, igniting long-simmering tensions over police brutality and social inequality. The speed with which the riots spread is a testament to the power of social media. Images and videos quickly galvanized others to take to the streets. What began as a local protest morphed into a national movement, fueled by outrage and a desire for change.
What began as a localized protest quickly spiraled into days of unrest, capturing the attention of the entire nation and even the world. The initial spark ignited a firestorm of emotions and actions that would not be easily contained. The following timeline captures the key events of the riots, providing a detailed look at how the situation evolved over time and the significant moments that defined this period of turmoil. Date, city. The initial incident occurs, sparking outrage and protests. People from all walks of life gather to voice their discontent, demanding justice and change. Date, city. Protests escalate into violence and looting, with shops vandalized and set ablaze. The chaos spreads rapidly, with authorities struggling to maintain order. Date, city. The riots spread to neighboring towns and cities with widespread looting and clashes with police. The unrest shows no signs of slowing down as more communities become engulfed in the turmoil. Date, cities. The violence continues, with several landmarks vandalized. The Prime Minister calls for calm, urging citizens to return to peace and promising to address their grievances. Date, our cities such. The intensity of the riots begins to subside, but sporadic incidents persist. The government announces an independent inquiry, aiming to uncover the root causes of the unrest and prevent future occurrences. The timeline paints a stark picture of the speed and ferocity of the unrest, highlighting how quickly a situation can escalate when underlying issues are not addressed. It is a reminder of the fragility of peace and the need to address underlying tensions. The events serve as a powerful lesson on the importance of social stability and the consequences of neglecting the voices of the people.
Section 5. Counting the cost. Economic and social impacts of the riots. As the dust settles, the true cost of the riots is becoming clear. The aftermath reveals a landscape marred by destruction and chaos, with communities struggling to pick up the pieces. The violence has left a scar on the social fabric, deepening divisions and fueling mistrust. Neighbours who once lived in harmony now find themselves at odds, grappling with the fear and uncertainty that the riots have sown. The economic impact is equally devastating, with businesses forced to close and jobs lost. Many local shops and enterprises, which were the lifeblood of these communities, now stand empty and abandoned. Early estimates suggest the riots have cost the UK economy billions in damages and lost revenue. The financial strain is felt not just by large corporations, but also by small business owners who are struggling to stay afloat. Small businesses, already struggling, have been particularly hard hit. Owners are faced with the daunting task of rebuilding, often without sufficient insurance or financial support. Beyond the economic cost, the social impact is immeasurable, with communities torn apart. The sense of unity and trust that once held these neighbourhoods together has been severely damaged. The psychological impact on those affected cannot be overstated, leaving many feeling traumatised and uncertain. Counselling services are overwhelmed as they try to help residents cope with the emotional fallout. Addressing these issues is not just a matter of economic recovery, it is a matter of social justice and national healing. Government officials and community leaders are now working together to develop comprehensive recovery plans that aim to restore both the economy and the social fabric of the affected areas.
Section 6, picking up the pieces, responses and calls for action. In the wake of the riots, the government faces mounting pressure to respond. The Prime Minister has condemned the violence and pledged to bring those responsible to justice. Additional police forces have been deployed to restore order. The government has announced measures to address the underlying social and economic issues. Community leaders and activists have emphasized the need to address legitimate grievances. Calls for dialogue, understanding, and concrete action have been widespread. Volunteers are working tirelessly to clean up the streets and rebuild businesses. The road to recovery will be long, requiring a concerted effort from all segments of society.
Section 7, bridging the divide, the need for dialogue and understanding. As we move forward, it is crucial to resist simplistic explanations or blame any one group. The riots were a complex phenomenon, with many contributing factors. Addressing these issues requires open and honest dialogue and a commitment to finding common ground. It is essential to create spaces where people feel safe to share their experiences and grievances. This requires building trust between communities and authorities. We must move beyond blame and embrace empathy and understanding. Only through genuine dialogue can we hope to bridge the divides exposed by the unrest.
Section 8, building a more just future, addressing the root causes. While restoring order is a priority, it is crucial to address the conditions that created a breeding ground for unrest. The riots have exposed deep-seated inequalities and a sense of hopelessness. Addressing these issues requires social, economic, and political reforms. Investing in education, job creation, and affordable housing are essential steps. Tackling discrimination and promoting social mobility are equally crucial. Building trust between law enforcement and communities is essential for maintaining peace. This requires transparency, accountability, and addressing any abuse of power. Building a more just society is a long-term project requiring sustained effort from all sectors. Section 9, a call for unity and hope, moving forward together. The riots have been a painful experience for our nation, exposing deep divisions and underlying tensions that have long been ignored. But amidst the destruction, there is hope. The dawn of a new day brings with it the promise of healing and renewal. We have seen incredible acts of courage, compassion, and resilience. Neighbors have come together to support one another in ways that inspire and uplift. Volunteers have worked tirelessly to clean up the streets and support one another. Their dedication is a testament to the strength of our community spirit. These acts remind us that we are a nation that cares for one another. In times of crisis, our true character is revealed. The road ahead will not be easy, but we must not be defined by recent events. Instead, let us be defined by our response to them. Let us draw strength from the resilience of the human spirit and our shared belief in a better tomorrow. Together, we can build a future that is brighter and more inclusive. Let us seize this moment for renewal and reconciliation. It is an opportunity to bridge divides and create lasting change. The time for unity and hope is now. Let us move forward together, hand in hand, towards a future filled with promise and possibility.